In the last 2 weeks, as I got the synchronization down, I was getting prepared to record the video. But right after I was done, the computer just gave up. I tried what I could do, but it just couldn't be saved. Unfortunately, it'll take me a while to get another Intel NUC, but it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a video and the show must go on. As such, this video will be about the calibration of our system. Instead of a checkerboard, we'll use an April grid you can print on a normal sheet of paper. In order to ensure our calibration is best, we must measure out our sizes with a ruler. In here, we can see it's about 2 centimeters width. Let's start recording our data. Make sure you launch the synchronized drives beforehand. For an optimal calibration, we need to properly excite all axes of the drone. First, we rotate our quad about its pitch 3 times. Make sure you don't move too fast. Next is the yaw axis. Same thing, 3 times. Not too fast, and make sure all your movements are smooth. Now we're ready for the roll. I'm not actually recording, so I'm going a bit fast. Remember to not be as aggressive when you're collecting your data. We're done with the camera and the gyro now. Let's take care of the accelerometer. First, we move our quad up and down 3 times. Unlike before, it's not as important for the camera to capture the entire view of the April grid. After we're done with that, we do side to side 3 times. Then back and forth 3 times. That's all we need for the accelerometer specifically. Just to be safe, we're gonna do a bunch of random movements while keeping the grid in full view. Overall, the ROS bag should last about 60 seconds for enough data. Let's download Kalibr, the package we will be using to calibrate our system. Just search for Kalibr wiki in Google to reach the usage instructions. We'll then find what we need in the download section. For an easier installation, go for the binary CD package. Since I don't actually have data, I'll be using the sample data as example. And here are all the scripts you'll need. You'll also find the April grid we used earlier in the PDF file. Pretty useful. Make sure you also download the YAML file, which contains meta info about your physical sheet. On a closer look, we see what needs to be changed. The tag size argument, which consists of the physical measurements we did earlier. The rest of the parameters can be left as they are. Here is the dataset I'll be using from the Kalibr website. This file is what we're aiming to get. We'll discuss it more later. We also need the noise parameters of the IMU. They're a bit more complex, but don't worry about them too much. We can easily see if our data is valid by running the ROS bag inside our folder and seeing the topic names. There they are. Cam0 image raw and IMU0. We'll keep them in mind. We'll begin by doing camera calibration. We used the calibrate cameras script, provide the YAML calibration file path, the actual bag, the type of rectification information, and finally the actual camera topic name we got from earlier. If you had multiple image topics, each will be rectified by the position in the model's argument. Now we start and wait a bit. we're done. And we get a pretty nice report. Polar error, azimuthal error, whatever those are, and the reprojection error. Looks like a pretty good calibration to me. If you want to access these again, Kalibr saves them in a nice PDF format for you, so you could look again. The results of our calibration is in the YAML camchain file. We have the intrinsics, fx, fy, cx, and cy in that order, and then the distortions. To calibrate our IMU, we use the calibrate IMU camera script with similar arguments as before, but we provide the camera calibration YAML file we just obtained, as well as the IMU noise parameters in the YAML file. Before we start calibrating, we need to comment some lines that accidentally remove our files. Let's go ahead and start up. Alright, here we go. Once again, we get some nice graphs of our results. The movements, the biases, the errors, and the reprojections errors, as before. Again, you can find a PDF file of this report for convenience. Here's the file we've been after for so long. The tcam IMU parameter gives the transformation from the IMU to the camera, with the 3x3 matrix in the first 3 columns and rows being the rotation matrix. The 3 elements in the 4th column being the X, Y, and Z translation to the camera. And the 4th row just denoting that this 4x4 matrix is part of the special Euclidean group. We also have our distortions and intrinsics for convenience. That's it. You can put your quad down in case you've held on to it throughout the calibration. Next time is synchronization. Fly safe.